Shalom Akim. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and Shalom to the sincere Akim, spreading this truth in sincerity. Shalom. So in this video, I want to speak on a dream that I had this morning. If I'm correct, I believe I had it this morning. And in the dream, the Heavenly Father, he actually showed me what would happen if I would, change a particular thing. If I would do that, then let me start it over again. So the dream that I had was about a haircut, and a couple of weeks ago, I don't want to say barber because it's a woman, but like a hairdresser. I don't really know what the right terminology is going to be, but my barber, my hairdresser, whatever, is a woman, and in my family we have been going, to her for ages, man. We know her for a very long time. I know she used to basically cut her hair remotely, so she comes to our house, for like, you know, 12 euro 50, 15 euros, etc., etc. So, she basically is changing careers herself. She wants to work in the elderly care. So what she's doing with the cutting of the hair, as her regular job, she quit that, and now she's raising her prices a little bit. So she went from 15 to 20 euros, to basically, compensate, for, whatever she loses, she's able to gain somewhere else, or, you know what I mean? So she raised the price. So my mother, she asked me what we should do. And back then when my mom asked, I said, yeah, for that price, you can just as well go um, to the regular barber, Amalek, or, Ishmael, and get your hair done over there without, having to make an appointment. You just go there. So my mom said that she would let her know what to do, you know. And then the Most High gave me a dream this morning. And at first I was like, huh? But then the spirit hit me because of what, basically happened a couple of weeks ago. So in the dream, I got a haircut at, whatever place, right? I don't remember the place, but I got a haircut, by someone else. One side, was just with a little bit longer taper, and then on the right side, you could see that he put the line in there with the trimmer, right? A line completely from, my forehead, not basically the side of my head, towards my neck, and then it will be a little bit longer hair, and then it will basically be shortly tapered, you know. And I looked at it in the mirror, and I was like, what the fuck is this, man? I was like, man, my hair is not supposed to be like this. Like, man, this man fucked up my hair. This man fucked up my hair, man. That's what I had in my dream. And so what I did in my dream, I contacted, the hairdresser. Like, hey, my hair needs to be basically fixed, This needs to basically be, you know what I mean? This needs to be this needs to be taken care of. You know what I mean? So as I was, showering this morning, I remembered a dream and I was like, hey, Ma, do you already know what you want to do with the hairdressing, with the cutting of the hair? she said no. So I told her, man, I got a dream, and explained her the dream, and it was like, I think it's better to stay, with basically, the hairdresser that we have, because if you think about it, she already knows what we want. She already, is used to us. We're used to her. We know, basically, she knows what to fix up for us, right? So that, we are able to, have hair that, doesn't, change drastically, right? Because my hair got changed drastically in the dream. I was like, what the heck is this, man? Like, this is ridiculous, you know? Didn't look good. And then in the dream, I tried to fix it myself. I was like, man, this is. And then I felt my hair, like, where the hairline went, with the fade and whatever. Like, man, this is fucked up, you know? But that's what happens when you go to someone that you do not really have a connection with. Even, one of the brothers of our camp, um, in our camp, he goes to one particular dude. He goes there every time, so he builds up a connection, man. He builds that connection. So what I want to bring forth in this dream is how the Most High is able to give us dreams, and through the dreams, he's able to warn us and prohibit or prevent us from making certain decisions and choices that's gonna mess us up, man. So this is Job chapter 33, in verse 14. It says, "For the Most High speaketh once, yea twice, yet man perceiveth it not." You see, so the Heavenly Father, he's able to speak to us in, different ways, different fashions, right? And one of the ways that he's able to do that is through dreams, man. He's able to do that through dreams, and not everybody is able to catch on what is being done and what is being said, but you know what I mean. Verse 15, it says, "In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon man, in slumberings upon the bed, then he opened the ears of man and sealed their instructions." So he's able to give us messages and instructions through dreams. He's able to, make sure that we're, being informed, about certain things. Verse 17, it says, "That he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man." So what it says, that he may withdraw man from his purpose. So whatever a man has going on in his mind, he might be warned from that. We was, basically stipulating and, thinking about what we're gonna do concerning, the haircuts. Now I get the dream. In the dream, someone else did my hair, got messed up. You know what I mean? So yeah, it says, "And hide pride from man. He keepeth back his soul from the pit, and his life from perishing by the sword." Yeah, so warnings are being given, man, so that you do not make, the wrong mistakes. You see? And what I was also thinking about is in the book of Sirach. It's like you have a friend like that is like old wine. Friend and wine. Let me see. Yeah, so here it says, Sirach chapter 9 verse 10, "Forsake not an old friend, for the new is not comparable to him. A new friend is as new wine. When it is old, thou shalt drink it with pleasure." So this basically goes into, when you and if you read the verse, it talks about friendships, right? But you can apply this also in an instance where you're dealing with someone such as a, barber or a dresser. You have a connection, you have a relationship, you have a bond, that you're able to enjoy. When you go to the barber, when you go there, questions are being asked, man. People that go to the barber is going to admit they feel like a freaking psychologist, man. not a psychiatrist, but a psychologist, or something in that way, because they hear all the stories, things going on in the life of the man or the women, that is going on. The next time they come there, hey, I was this, that, and the third. Last time we spoke about this, that, and the third. So what up? That is an enjoyable circumstance, right? That's an enjoyable situation. So it says, forsake not an old friend, for the new is not comparable to him. So when you have, you know, how you say that, when you have the opportunity to go for a new barber because of pricing or something, you bet, you better, bet this, that you're gonna have to start all over again. You're gonna have to show your face, month in and month out. Month in and month out, because this man now has to recognize you, and then he has to build up a bond with you. You have to basically make sure that you plan your schedule it in the agenda at the date that he is there, so that you're able to, so that this man becomes familiar with who you are and what you want, right? It says, a new friend is his new wine. When it is old, thou should drink it with pleasure, because wine that has matured is oftentimes way more enjoyable to drink. Of course, you have different types of wine, which not every wine is as pleasurable to every man. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to bring forth. A little bit of wisdom pertaining to the scriptures, because as we find out, the Heavenly Father is able to inform someone concerning dreams, give him messages, and being able to bring forth, the right choices, man. What to do in the situation. And also, looking at the situation is a very wise thing to stay with the hairdresser that we have, because of, the a bond that is already there, the familiarity, knowing what we want, and then continuing from there, you know what I mean? That has to start all over again if you make new friends, right? So yeah. With that, I do hope and pray, that this video was edifying. And with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham. All praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, who teach and rule well. And Shalom to the sincere Akim, spreading this truth and sincerity. Shalom.